It has been a long time since I've been live, but I wanted to give you all the deets on how to make this Christmas work. Hola, 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 everyone. I am Melissa. I am the Money Hunter, and I'm going to show you today how to debunk 4 myths when it comes to your money and the holiday spending time. So, welcome. Let's get into it. So, what I have noticed, I don't go live. Today is the very first day, probably in a month, close to a year that I have been live. But we have time now, so let's just do it. All right, so we're going to talk about the four myths that I posted in my stories regarding the Christmas and the feelings of stress, all that jazz, and let's just get into it. So a lot of times when we start thinking about Christmas, we push it off because we don't want to think about it because it's coming up so soon. And it's like, oh crap. Oh, God, here we go. Here's Christmas. It's here. It's there. And we tend to forget that it's been here. It's the same day every year, regardless of what day it falls on. And it never changes, right? It's always going to be December 25th. Every year, 1989, 1900, 2021, 2022, it's always been the same, December 25th. So why do we feel as though we get this all of a sudden pressure and weight on us come November time frame that, thank you, Mandy, the November time frame where it's like, oh, shoot, here we go, it's Christmas time, we have to get all these things, and it doesn't have to be that way. Especially when it comes to your money, please don't let it be that way, because there's so many different smarter strategies to make it work for you, so you don't have to be stressful. It's definitely not worth it. So the one thing that I see all the time that people tend to do is overspend when it comes to Christmas. Look, the same way that you create a budget every single month should be the same way you create a budget for Christmas, for special events, Easter, Thanksgiving, summer vacation, Valentine's Day. All of those really need to have a budget as well. So when it comes to Christmas, what I have done and let's talk about what I used to do. It used to be more of like here's all the money that I have. Let me spend it on my loved ones because I know they love me and they'll love the gift that I give them. No, they don't, because 10 times out of 9, they will throw it away. So I have learned that, all right, this is my cap. If the things that I want for the people that I am providing gifts for, if it doesn't fall within that cap, then they're not going to get it. It's just that simple. So I have created $500 budgets, $200 budgets, because at one point in time, honestly, that's all I could afford, $200. And either you got something or you didn't. And if you did get something, it was more so meaningful than just stuff. So I'll just give an example of one Christmas, right? So my mom, love her dearly, she did me a solid favor at one point in time, and she paid one of my student loans, which was a small loan. It was about $1,500. And I was not expecting her to do that. And I was like, man, like, I gotta pay you back, Mom. Like, I gotta pay you back. Like, I'm not gonna just use and abuse from you. Like, that's just not how you taught us, but then it's also not how I operate. So because I knew way far in advance, like, I knew that my budget for her for Christmas was going to be $1,500. And I was able to manage and finagle, work harder, put in more hours to make sure that she had what she needed. And when you set a boundary for yourself, you have to stay within that boundary, because then once you stick there, you know, like, all right, I can't budge out of this box. I have to stay here. So my best advice, and I always love to do this for people, is that set a cap for yourself. Like, we're going in, and I know that the 25th will mark 31 days before Christmas actually starts. So you have a little bit of about 40, maybe my math might be a little off, but you have about like 40 something days to go ahead and start planning and figuring out what is my absolute cap when it comes to spending. So set your goal and don't go set the boundary, for yourself, and don't go over. It seems like it's that simple, but I know for a fact it's really not. And it also depends on what other obligations you have in making that happen. Okay. So one thing that you can do to stop overspending for Christmas, absolutely, is create a budget, create a sinking fund, and start that early. And I'll get into that a little bit. The next thing that I see a lot of people do is wait till the last minute. Who's guilty of waiting like till 2 weeks before Christmas actually happens to actually buy stuff? Trust me, I've been there. And I know it is hard. It is, trust me, if anybody gets it, I get it. It is hard, but it does not have to be a barrier. Do you hear the difference? It's going to be hard, but it's really depending on you and your willpower on how much you really want to do. I promise I'm not attacking you. It's just I'm honestly, when I say these things and when I come up with these questions, it's honestly me attacking me because I know better. But you may not know better. So that's why I'm here to teach you better so that we're both paddling along in the same boat versus like there being a hole on this side, a hole on that side, and we're trying to make it work and it's not going to work. So I get it. By you feeling attacked, that's a good thing. That means the inner you is going like this. It's shifting and it's rubbing together and it's like, oh, she's talking to me. That's a personal thing. That means you know what to do, and now it's time for you to actually do better, okay? So it is not my intention at all to make people feel bad. It is truly just I want you to open your eyes to see what's happening. I want you to be there for yourself, essentially. So another thing that I see a lot of times that we do is wait till the last minute. Now, we know that life happens. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we also, when we fail to prepare, we're also failing ourselves. And I know that we use these quotes all the time. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but when you're not preparing, you're just automatically failing, putting yourself in a position to fail. And so same thing with your money and same thing with Christmas. If you are not mentally preparing yourself to that point, you're just like pushing it off, you're going to fail. You're going to fail, unfortunately. And you're going to get to Christmas in the last 2 weeks, and those credit cards are going to pull out, and be like, oh, I know Jimmy John wanted this, and I know that Betty Sue wanted that, and I know that Mama wanted this, and I know Daddy needs this, and it's just going to be swipe haven. It's going to be swiping. But when you actually truly take the time to prepare and plan what you want for Christmas, I tell you, it will make a heaping of a difference. It really does. So generally, sometimes, not all the time, try to plan at least, and it's easier said than done. Try to plan between starting point. Well, no, let's not say starting point. 6 months to 4 weeks before Christmas. Because yes, things will be on sale, but they're always technically on sale. If you think about it. There's no greater sale than you buying it when you actually have it versus waiting down the line when you really don't have it. So, absolutely. So, that's as a money coach, my job is to hold you accountable, but then also to guide you on the way that you're supposed to go. It's not oh, come on, we'll make it work as best as we can. It's like, no, you know exactly what you need to do, so let's do it. But then also, I'm going to kind of push you, not drag you. Okay? So waiting till the last minute hurts our pockets so much. It hurts our pockets because honestly, if you have irregular income, not being prepared for Christmas will really mess you up, so that when you get to the point of January, it's like, oh, so what happened to my money? Like you have to think about it in that aspect of me waiting is going to hurt me. Okay, so now, of course, with Black Friday coming up, it's going to be one of the biggest sale weekends ever, and I got something special for you all. But it is better to prepare now than to wait till later. So do what you can. I always give myself 6 months to 4 weeks, and this year we're actually going to give 4 weeks to really get the things that people want and need for Christmas, and just preparation is key. Now, the next thing, and I used to do this a lot. That's why I can talk about it. And I still have a really bad tendency of doing it. It's people pleasing. We have to stop people pleasing. Because when we think that we're trying to give somebody a gift and then we don't get anything in return, that hurts here, but it also hurts in your pocket. So please, whatever, it is easier said than done to stop being a people pleaser, but know who in your circle, in your family, you are automatically going to get a gift for. So for example, my family and I, we do, every Christmas we do a holiday exchange, and it's actually been kind of very beneficial for pockets because we don't believe in everybody getting a gift from one individual. What we do is we do a gift exchange. So let's say me and Bob over there, we're exchanging, it's a Secret Santa type of thing. So that one person in the family is responsible for another individual in the family, but not one person is responsible for every single individual in the family. And it actually helps out a lot because we set a budget for what people can buy and what people should not go over. And with that, it has helped because no longer do I have to worry about getting a gift for my 3 aunts, my 2 uncles, my sister, my brother-in-law, my mom, my nephew. It's just a lot. Like, that's 9 individuals I have to give a gift for. And it's like, okay, enough's enough. But I know for a fact that every Christmas, I focus on 4 individuals. And, well, technically 5 individuals. It's my mom, my sister, my dad, my nephew, my brother-in-law, and my Secret Santa. Okay, so the list is here or there. But you get the point. If you set up who you're actually going to give a gift for, don't try to give a gift for everybody just because you're that type of person, you love people. People love you to a certain extent, but they don't understand your money situation. So just be real with yourself. If you know for a fact that you don't have all of that to give to people, then don't waste your money. It's just a complete waste of time, okay? And another thing, I know that a lot of people voted for this one, not having enough for Christmas. So I don't want to do this, and I don't want to say this in the most criticizing way, but a lot of times when we don't have enough, that means we're probably spending too much, okay? We love mom. We know mom is always going to be there, or dad, or whoever your significant other or partner is in your life. We love them and we want to show it, but there's so many different ways that you can show them by not having to dish out so much money every single time. You don't have to do that. It is truly, it's truly a myth that, and I'm probably going to go onto a deeper route, but you don't have to buy the biggest and best gift for somebody, right? It can be the simplest but most meaningful thing that can impact their life so that they remember the way that something made them feel, right? So let me see, who gave me a gift? I'm trying to think of a gift. So for instance, my mom's a crafter, so she gives stuff like this all the time. So this is my nephew and my dog and another dog that we used to have. And it's just like, as crazy as this was, this probably cost her maybe $10 to make, right? And she's very crafty. It's her thing. But it only cost her $10 to give me something meaningful. And mind you, I've had this probably for about 3 or 4 years. And it's just like, it doesn't have to be the most expensive thing in the room. And people tend to think that it has to be this big, illustrious thing. Like, get me shoes, get me coats, get me bags. And it's like, those things depreciate. They depreciate like hell. And for you to pay for $200 pairs of shoes that are going to get worn and torn and be gone by next season, it's just like, for what? For what? So one funny thing, the other day I was texting my I guess I would call it an investor. We'll call it an investor. She's helping me learn how to invest in getting into long-term whole life insurance and just trying to set my money up so that I'm good. My family's good, right? And I was texting her. I was like, just a real quick question, super quick, super random, but can I gift somebody term life insurance? And as funny as it was, she gave me like the lowdown of like the politically correct answer, and I was like, man, like I would hate to, like I feel like that's more important nowadays versus just let me give you this crock pot that you may ever never use and just let it sit in your house and I'm just using my money. It doesn't make sense. So when I asked for that, I said, okay, well, there's a little bit more information that I need to grab from them before I can really give them term life insurance. And so I was like, okay, well, I just wanted to put my $50 for Christmas to a good use. She was like, no, that's super smart. Super smart, but there's a lot of different back roads that you need to have. And so just think about when you're gifting gifts for the season, just think about, is this going to be something that they want to have, temporary want, or is this something that they can benefit from and need for a long period of time? And think about your budget. Think about that boundary that you're creating for yourself. If you don't have enough to give enough, then you probably went too high on your budget. For instance, my mom, this is classic. Every year she does this, and it low-key annoys me, but it's like, all right, like she's good. She does this. My mom gifts me and my sister socks every single Christmas. And it's like, bro, like I have enough socks, but then it's also like her telling us, you need to throw away the socks that have holes in them and replace them with these, because those are the things that we actually need. And mind you, socks you can go to Burlington, get some socks, Ross, get some socks, Walmart, get some socks, and they cost you $6. But she already knew in her mind that this is something that my daughters need. They need socks. Because one of them, I'm not gonna point out who it is, my sister, always has holes in her socks. And it's like, okay, Mom, we get it. Like, this is something that we need, but it's not necessarily on our want list. But it's key to see how your mindset can be different when you actually stay within your budget and don't go over, and give something that's super meaningful versus something that is wanted in the second, right? I can go on and on about examples from Christmas of, right, you can never have enough socks. As annoying as it is, it's actually kind of very helpful because she picks the best socks, and she knows what type of socks that I like. So it's like, okay, cool, whatever. And it's not even designer socks. It's like the ones, like the active socks and like thick socks, and she just knows. Moms know, they know everything. Shout out to Mama Dukes. Love her dearly. But just think about those different challenges, right? Overspending, it's because you don't have boundaries. Waiting till the last minute is because you're pushing it off and not making it a priority. 3, people pleasing. You don't have to please everybody. Everybody doesn't have to receive a gift from you. It just doesn't work like that. And then 4, you're balling. You're balling here, but your budget's really here. And it does not have to be this way, folks. It does not have to be this way. So for Christmas, I have already decided, what is my max cap? My max cap this Christmas is actually going to be probably $150 to $200, because I have this lovely gift card that I got from somewhere. Lovely gift card that's $150. And I said, you know what, let me just wait till I can apply this to a bill. Let me just wait till I can do this. This card has been sitting here for about 4 or 5 months. And something in me is telling me I should actually use it towards Christmas so I don't have to come out of pocket. And I'm thinking, that's a fantastic idea. This gift card is $150, and if I add $50 to that means I've already met my cap. Christmas does not have to be overly expensive, folks. It can literally be $100. It can literally be $50. You can go to Five and Below and get something. You can actually make something that's cheaper than that. It's about how you think when it comes to your money. Don't overthink the process. Just be smarter with it. So for this Black Friday, I am getting something geared up for you all for those of you that like just need additional strategies to really navigate this holiday season, because it is very stressful. It is very stressful because you're either traveling here, going there, being here, having to show up for family, and I get it. It's not easy. But just be smarter when it comes to getting yourself prepared. Like I was saying, the way that we think that we have to do all this extra stuff for Christmas, and it's like, no, you don't. I've easily met people that have spent close to $500 to $1,000 on Christmas gifts, and it's like, for what? For what? It's just not that. It's not that deep, not at all. So let me ask you all this question: What are you thinking about when it comes to? What are you all thinking about when it comes to your money? Like, what would your budget be? What are you thinking your budget would be for Christmas? Let's throw out some numbers. Stop attacking me. I promise I'm not attacking. I'm just being real. Like, I've been in that position before, and I was doing all of these things, overspending, not having enough money, pulling out the credit cards. I was doing it all until I was just like, enough is enough. Like, my money, my sanity is way more important than what people think. So drop some numbers in the box, this thingy. I haven't been on here in a long time, so just bear with me because it's been a hot minute. But what is your budget for Christmas? I want to know. $300. Okay, perfect. So your budget is $300 this year. And do you have $300 to give this year? And I'm not attacking, I'm just asking a question. Do you have $300 ready to go right now for Christmas? Let's hear. Do you have $300 to go? You have a lot of kids. Okay. So you have your own kids? Because I didn't know that. Not in a bad way, but I just didn't know you had kids. Or you have a lot of nieces and nephews or kids that you have to provide for. And then also, too, y'all, let me just say this. When it comes to kids and gift giving, yes, we want toys. Of course they want toys. They're always going to want toys. But what do you think will help them elevate to their next level? Right? Challenge you on that. I got you. Challenge you on that level. Right? So one thing that I love about my sister, is that she is very, very strict when it comes to my nephew and the gifts that he gets for Christmas. She tells us every year, do not buy him this. Do not buy him that. Do not do this. And it's like, okay, well, dang, like, what do you want us to give him? And it makes sense because she always tells us, give him books. Give him books because he loves to read. So it makes sense. Give him things that will challenge him here so that he can continue and further grow. Versus toys, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm done playing with that toy. Sayonara. You know, can I tell y'all how I still, like, all the Barbie dolls that I ever got in my life, where are they now? A lot of money wasted. Okay? So let's see. I want to get them stocks. Nice. I love to hear that because those stocks will just grow. And another tidbit, I'm not sure how this works. And remind you, I'm just a money coach. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't work at the bank. I don't do any of that stuff. However, look into getting things that will grow dividends for them as well. So whether if it's stocks, a CD, a 529 education thing, whatever. I don't have kids, but I know that for a little bit. Get them something that you can continuously add to every year, right? So even if it's like a certificate of deposit, a CD, or if it's a 529 plan, right? So I know that my nephew, for sure, he has a savings account that will go towards something. It sounds terrible as auntie, I don't know, but I do know. But it's something that we all have access to that we can just dump money in whenever we have it. Now, mind you, that when you dump money, there's a certain number that you can't go over every year. But imagine, I think that's like $5,000 or $6,000. But imagine that same money that you're about to buy a toy with, you can just dump into that education plan or that savings plan so that when they turn 18, 21, 24, whatever it may be, they have that and they can set their own future. With me, it's not necessarily about the amount. It's more of what my loved ones requested or what they desire. That's a hard one too. And really, do you feel obligated to? Okay, I had a moment where I was gonna say something and I have to catch myself because I know me, but we're still learning each other. So let me ask you this: it's what they requested from you or what they requested from the family? Let's ask that question. And yes, your desires can be nice, but I want to hear your answer so I know how to properly answer your question. Oh, not really question, your statement per se. So yes, we all have wish lists. We all have things that we want. But after a while, you start to... I think that's the thing with Christmas. Everyone has their own ideology of what it stands for, what it means. And I think after... I can't remember what year it was. I think for me in 2000, it had to be 18. I think it was 18 when I really started getting my money serious, like really serious. I started telling my folks, like, I don't want anything for Christmas because for me, that's not what the experience is about. It's always about being with family, and it's always about just enjoying each other's company as much as we can without there being a sense of competition. Oh, got it. I see. Okay. So being the man of the family, there's a hierarchy that there's a pedestal, let me just say, that you're placed on that people expect these things from you, right? Now I hate to ask this question. What are they doing to get to their own desires? What are they doing to get to their own desires? Because I know that like significant others may want things. Your children may want things. Granted, yeah. They may want all the time, but if you as the sole provider can only do so much, that weight of what they want is going to literally kill you. And you have to be able to set up boundaries too for that. Just in I know I'm the head of this household, but I only have a dog. So I can only speak as far as his wants and his desires. It's just to be fed and played with and stuff. But like you really have to, I think, and I can feel that pressure. Like I know that my dad, I have a feeling that he felt a lot of pressure to give us this, as much as we could to make sure that we're happy. But think deep down inside, right? Think about, what do I honestly want to be remembered for with my family? Do I want to be remembered for the things that I gave them, the material, and I hate to say materialistic, but hear me out, the material things, or do I want to be remembered for the experience that I was able to provide them, right? So who I feel like there was a documentary I was just watching the other day about, yes, it was Janet Jackson, and she was talking about her family and how everyone criticized Joe Jackson for being so tough on them and how they didn't have a childhood essentially. But the main thing that she wanted people to know was that yes, he was a tough dad, but you have to understand everything that he did for us, because we wouldn't be where we are today without him. And just her showing gratitude and talking about, just her showing gratitude and being able to talk about her life experience growing up with her dad and what he had to sacrifice and what he put them through to get to where they are. It's just like, you don't know the Jacksons without knowing Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson and Tito Jackson, and I don't want to say Jimmy Jackson because I know that's not a person, but whatever. Yeah. And it is your legacy. Your legacy is so much more powerful than anything. And I'm speaking from not knowing you all the way, but as a man, your position is going to be held so much higher when you give your your children, the people that are surrounded by you, a whole different light to what it means, right? Because you're laying the foundation of the legacy, right? Because you are the head of the household right now. This is what's happening right now, and by your actions, you are showing the people in the household around you what to expect of other people to them, right? So one, and I hate to do this, and hopefully, Dad, I love you. If you see this, it's only from just my personal experience, so don't be mad at me. I get my people pleasing from my father. Absolutely, wholeheartedly, 100%. Because what I saw growing up was him being a provider, him being there, but being on the road because he had to work in order to provide for us. But then also every time that he came back, he came with a gift. It was the gift of a new toy, came with the gift of let's go here. And it's he set this expectation and he set this expectation that everybody in my life has to give me something in order for me to do for them, or me to give to them in order for them to do for me. And because he set that bar or that expectation, I always felt that I needed to do for other people in order for them to show up in my life. And now as I've grown older, I've realized that that's not really the case. People will do for you people will do for you as you show up for them, period. It doesn't have to be monetarily. That's what I'm saying. Monetarily, we show up for people monetarily. But if you set the expectation of this is how this household is going to be, and I'm not saying that you don't. What I'm saying is I want you all to have a better life than me, and having these materialistic things are not going to aid into you having a better life for me. It's going to aid in you still maintaining that Christmas is about gifts and the things that I want that I could never have, and therefore I'll never work for me to get to that point ever. It's not about that. It's about coming together, celebrating a life, celebrating family, celebrating community, and the gift stuff is just a byproduct of what we have been taught and told for so long. You know what? I would partly agree with you, and I partly won't agree with you. Hear me out, though, and I hear you as well. Nobody loves a man unless he provides, period. Yes, but you can provide in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be let me give you this gift, right? Because you can still, honestly, you can still provide your family's desires, but in a different way, right? Teach them what it means to work for the things that you're working to give them what they want and what they desire, correct? So teach them in turn how to get to that point of where you are to be able to provide, to be able to do everything, right? You can give them a certain expectation of how things are going to go. All I'm saying is that with Christmas, it doesn't have to be about, I want this $200 pair of shoes. I want this iPad. Because it's like, okay, what do you want it for? What is the purpose? Is it just to have it, just to say you have it? Or is it to showboat? Is it to actually grow you? Is it an investment to make you money so that next year you can buy the things that you want? That's what I'm saying. It goes deeper than just peeling off money and just making it happen. Be able to give them a lesson within that. So I'm here with you. I understand, and I just want to be able to support you. You know. There's so many different ways that I think that us African Americans and people of color, period, have this ideology that we have to give things in order to be appreciative or appreciated, and it does not have to be that way. You do not have to give things in order for people to love on you, right? It's an experience, it's a feeling. Love is not bought. It shouldn't be bought. It can't be bought. And by you setting a budget of $5,000, me being dramatic, or $500, so that you can give people what they want, a video game system, dolls, like, yeah, that's cool, but what does that do to take away, right? And so another thing too, like, growing up, we were big, like, when I tell you, we used to get all the toys, and don't even use them now. Well, I mean, don't even use them, right? So me and my sister, we used to be big video gamers. Me and my cousins on both sides used to be big video gamers. And my parents used to work hard to make sure we had the dolls that we wanted, the video games that we wanted, and all the extra stuff. But we never got anything that we never, to this day, and I can say this, to this day, I still have yet to receive a pair of Jordans. I still have yet to wear a pair of Jordans, walk in, like, all the time. My parents didn't believe in that. Not at all. Not one bit. Never gave us anything like that. But as odd as it is, they gave us things that, video games, of course, because that was the thing that kept us entertained, right? It kept us busy. But we also could have been busy with workbooks. We could have been busy with, we would have never known if there was an investment, 529 plan for us, or if there was a term life plan for us that we just don't know exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much more beneficial gifts out there than just the shit that you see all the time. That's all I'm saying. So it's super important to, even if you still are going to provide for your family, regardless of what that looks like for you, set a cap. Okay, set a cap, because you don't have to get everything on their list. You can get a few things on their list. Because I know their kids will have laundry list of things that they want. Laundry list. But also check in and think, what do they actually need? Because then you're just essentially just wasting your dollars. And I know how important it is to keep money in the household. So would it be more important to buy a coat for them versus these pair of shoes or this video game? Because they're going to need to have a coat until whatever season, wherever you live or wherever you are for that season, right? It's just looking at what is more important, what is the bigger picture, what is more important to you and your family, wants versus needs. So that's I can go on and on and on and on and on and on about that, but what I want you to focus on is the things that get us caught up, currently, when it comes to Christmas and spending our money. So overspending does not have to happen as long as you create a budget. So I always say, rule of thumb, January, start throwing away money. Not throwing away money, but throwing money into a place where it's safe, where you're not going to touch it. Because that can honestly be, if you literally, let me pull out my handy dandy calculator. If you literally put away $5 per week, that's $260 for Christmas that you don't even have to worry about ever again. Or if you put away $10 for, let's just say 26 weeks, that's the same amount. $10 for 26 weeks. And then by the half of the year, you already have your Christmas money. Or if you even want to double that, put $20 for 26 weeks. That's $520 already. Yeah, $520 already saved up for by the middle of the year. It's really not that difficult. But I say this because I'm speaking from experience. I have been in a position where I have overspent on Christmas and had to pull out credit cards just to make it by, and then regretting it later. It's like, well, shit, like they didn't really appreciate the gift that I gave them, but I had to pull out my credit card. Now I got to pay that back. It doesn't make sense. So being smart in that mindset, that you set the cap, you set the ultimate I'm not going over this amount because this is where my budget is. Okay. Second thing is waiting till the last minute. Procrastination is a disease that is a strong ass disease. When we wait till the last minute, it hurts us so much. We miss opportunities because we waited to the last minute. We could have got this thing. We could have got this gift way before when Amazon be having their Prime deals and stuff like that. It is literally just thinking about the future. Thinking about, all right, what is my money plan? What am I going to do? You have to be able to plan in advance. So I tried that, but just have to not touch it this time around. Exactly. I call that discipline. When it comes to managing your money, it is a lot of discipline. It's a lot of telling yourself, no, don't do that because you're using it for this. No, don't touch that because you have to do this. No, that's not what that's for. Remember, it's for da da da. It's not for you taking a trip. Okay? It is super, super important that you stay and remain disciplined while doing anything with your money. Because if you're not disciplined, your money will become undisciplined and it will continue to do what the hell it wants versus you telling it what to do. Okay? So just imagine that this every time you dip your hand in that fund, it's hot lava. It's going to burn the shit out of you. And you already know it's going to burn you because you're going to think about it later on. It's like, fuck, I should have never touched that money. I should have never touched it. And then it's going to be the regret period. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have this, that, and the third. And it's like, you could have had it as long as you stayed disciplined. Okay? So another thing is people pleasing. Like I mentioned before, it will get you absolutely nowhere. Speaking from experience, it will get you nowhere. Do not buy people gifts just to please them or just to make them like you. The world is not created that way. It is not. It will never be. And it just doesn't do you any good. People pleasing is not the way to go. Because ultimately, people pleasing affects your budget tremendously. Because then you have to think, well, dang, how can I get this gift for Susie, Joe, and Bill and Bob? It's like, but Susie, Joe, and Bill and Bob ain't doing shit for you. So why give them a gift? It's not necessary. You can give them a card at the dollar store. They have a whole pack of them for $1, and that's definitely what people get. You know, thank you for everything that you do for me. Thank you for saving me money this year, and see you next year when I got lots of dollars. Send them off that card and then let it be on their way. Don't people please, y'all. It's not. Before my phone dies on me. Not having enough. You do have enough. You do have enough. It's just about what you are going to choose to spend that enough on. Okay, so 2 of these 4 points really tie in together. Overspending, preparing in advance, and then also not having enough money. Those 3 are really tied in together, if you can tell. So I love to see the excitement on people's faces, even if it's momentarily. Dude, I do too. Trust me, I do too. The act of, what is that called? Your love language has to be gift giving. Absolutely gift giving. Receiving gifts. And it's a thing. It is a thing. It is phenomenal to see the reaction. I'll never forget the Christmas that I gave my mom $1,500. I'll never forget her reaction. It just gives me chills thinking about it because she wasn't expecting it at all. All she saw was a Zelle receipt. Like, what is this? And she's like, she starts reading the card that I gave her and the piece of paper that was inside the card. Like, thank you, Mom, for everything that you've done for me. It doesn't go unnoticed, blah, blah, blah. Whatever I said 3 years ago. I can't remember. But just her reaction, she was like, no, you didn't. Like, Mom, if you won't meet my mom because she doesn't do social media, camera stuff. But she's like, no, you didn't. I was like, yeah, like this is sitting in your account right now. Good luck. And her face of just like beginning to cry, I can't. I don't do well with people crying. I just instantly start crying. But just that reaction of like, it's a great feeling. But you also have to know that I think you would feel better too if you knew that you didn't have to break your back or your bank account in order to make that happen. You can make it happen without doing the most. Okay. So agreed. The best gift is time and presence. I'm a firm believer of that too. But I know that people are different, right? But always remember that you can give someone that same reaction without blowing the money in your bank account. You can do that. And you can also make that same reaction happen without going into further debt. Okay? So it doesn't have to be as difficult as we're making it seem. And another thing, I was just thinking about it and I just lost my idea, was that that's what it was. Okay. So if they have a list of wants, desires, here's what I want, their birthday comes around every so often. So their birthday comes around. So even if you're not able to do it this time, like if you're not able to do it, get them. Maybe if you really want to, if you want to go all the way in, right? If you want to do that for your mom or your significant other or your kiddos, what you can do is get them one thing from that want and desire list. Follow back up with them a few months later, or maybe not a few months later, but during their birthday time, to see if they actually still want that thing on their list. And if it changes, then it really didn't mean anything. It was just for the moment. Versus like, yeah, I really want this because I need it to do X, Y, and Z. If they're like, oh yeah, I wanted that like back in Christmas time, but I already got something, then you'll know already from that moment that it wasn't necessary for you to break your pockets, So trust me, it doesn't have to be as difficult as we make it seem. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Keep their list, and then kind of call them out on it later on. Like, hey, did you still want so and so and so? Like, did you find anything that was still the same that did you still want it? And if they say no, then that kind of give you your answer of like, all right, cool. I feel better giving them only one thing on this list versus everything. Okay. So with that being said, I love the fact that you all came on here and engaged with me. It has literally been, I can probably tell y'all the last time I went live was a year ago. It'd be like that. In the same way y'all be looking at y'all money like, oh, this is the last time I budgeted. It'd be like that. I get it. No judgment. We are here to help and encourage and inspire. And I thank you all for joining me here today and just being the supportive community that you are. So stay tuned. You may not see me posting, but you may see me in the stories. Just know I'm still here. I'm working behind the scenes. If only y'all can see. Oops. If only y'all can see the work. Like, there's a lot of things up there. We're working hard on getting some things ready for you all for Christmas, so that you all don't feel the stress that normally happens and comes with the holiday season. And then also as well, starting. Well, I wouldn't say starting in January, but, whenever. If you really do need one-on-one financial coaching, I am here for you as always, and we can make things happen. Just hit me in the DM, and we will spark the conversation to get you the help that you need come the new year. Now, look, I'm going to say this right now. The things that, the conversations that may be had in the DM may not be the same come January, because we're really getting, it's just one woman show here, but I am preparing to make sure that we are transforming lives, because we can't wait for our finances to get together, because then when we wait, you just never know what may happen, right? You just never know. So always do right by your bank account. Okay. So lastly, my name is Melissa. For those of you that have not joined me, but have been here, but are just seeing this live, and I help you all. Oh, good. You love the Side Hustle Handbook. Oh, that makes me happy. So tell me real quick, what is the biggest gem that you received from the Side Hustle Handbook? Because that book it didn't really take me forever, because I used my personal experience, but it took a lot of love, a lot of love in that book. And yes, I'm going to be updating all of the products within the Iowa Wallet, and we're going to be focusing on. Well, since we're here, let's talk about it. We're going to be focusing on. I realized that within my money journey, I have really been able to do three things. One of them's been budgeting, budget my tail off on some instances, and I actually made, since y'all are on the line, I may show y'all a little something that I had a long time ago that I haven't pulled out in a while. Budgeting, hustling. I know how to, by the grace of God and the grace of my father, I have learned multiple ways how to hustle, make money, and really navigate multiple streams of income. Always, always, always. And then the third thing is saving. So for those of you that have either just joined me, following me, or have been watching me for quite some time, I was able to save $5,000 in 5 months. Was it 5 months? Yeah, $5,000 in 5 months. I had to think about it because I was thinking about the months it took me. But those three things really set off. Hey, Britt. Those three things really set off made me think like, dang, like this is what I know how to do and know how to do perfectly. I know how to budget, I know how to hustle, and I know how to save. And with those three things, I know for a fact that I got you, girl. Hit me in the DM. Those three things have helped me really transform my finances. Now, I will be 100% honest, since I haven't been on live in a hot minute. I want you all to know that the waters have been murky around here. But I'm excited to say that things are on the up and we're getting to clear water shortly. But I want you all to be a part of that. I want you all to know what that journey has gotten me to and where we are going with that journey. So being frank and honest about it's really hard, but I'm glad that I have a community with you all involved in it to get us through, because it's not just about me, it's also about you too, and getting you to budget, hustle, and save. Okay. So the biggest takeaway, and so I'm going to shout out Miss Pam, because Pam purchased the Side Hustle Handbook, and that book was with a lot of love and dedication. It goes into different side hustles and knowing which side hustle is right for you in order for you to get to your goals. And Pam said here, the biggest takeaway was to use skills that I have to provide a service to this that don't have my skill. So, okay. Let me reread that again. The biggest takeaway was to use skills I have to provide a service to those that don't have my skill. Perfect. Exactly. So you have to, what's truly key with the side hustle handbook is knowing you have skills. Every one of you all, you all got what I'm trying to say. Each one of you have a skill that I don't have, that the next person doesn't have, and the next person doesn't have. So it's essentially using that skill and capitalizing on that skill. How can you do that? What do you need to do? Navigate all of those waters. Okay. So that's just one of the things that we have coming down the line. There will be more things coming. I wish I had my shirt. Ooh, but it will take me. Well, actually, no. Can y'all hold on for like 1 second? Since I'm on here, I want to show y'all this magnificent thing. Give me some hearts if you're willing to wait like 2 seconds. I have to run into my room and go get this shirt that I'm going to get in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, I'm back. So this shirt, I'm not sure if you all can see it. Money Made Me Hustle is going to be an exclusive Iowa Wallet thing. Whew, let me tell you, I just ran. Okay, so this is going to be something that's going to be on sale for Black Friday, and I am so excited to show you all that we're moving and grooving. Yeah, you guys saw him. He's probably nosy as all get out. Just watching. But we're tapping into what we do best here at the Iowa Wallet. Budgeting, hustling, and saving. And I'm so excited that you guys are a part of this journey. Had to catch my breath for a second. But hey girl, hey. So just super excited. My phone is literally getting ready in like 0.5. But I wanted to show you all this shirt that you can get during Black Friday. Yay! So stay tuned. I'll be posting. I will be posting everything in regarding that sooner than later. So I really appreciate you guys for hopping on and tapping in with me. Mind you, this is my first live in like forever, so I really appreciate it. And Money Hustlers gang, we're gang. So I appreciate you guys for coming, and I'll see you later. Ciao. Yes, you can get it without the pink. I know it's kind of feminine. I'm changing the color of that, so don't worry. I got you. All right, y'all. Sayonara. See you later.